Okay, so recording is started. That will be helpful to us. We can refer to it later. Now, next value is, let's look at 5, comma, starting from 5, go up to -1, increment step is -2. So can somebody tell me what would the values be? Anyone like to speak out?
5, 3, 1.
5, 3, 1, would it be -1 as well?
No.
No, because -1 is not to be included.
Excluded.
Yeah, man, so answer would be 5, 3, 1. If I were to make it 5, comma, -1 and then comma +1, what would happen?
It will be
So let's say instead of -2, I'd say just +1 or simply 1. The policy becomes kind of infinite because it is increasing, will never reach -1.
okay.
Okay, so look at those
Yes, sir.
aspects. Now, scoping is one thing we did at the code. So when I'm defining a function, how do I know my function is ending, or how do I know my for loop is ending? And so let me give an example there what I want to talk about. Let's say I'm defining rectangle. And so when you define always indicates that I'm defining a method. And
Yes, sir.
then the function name, any parameters you need to pass. We'll get into a little more details, what the default values are, how those to be used. For right now, assume these are the parameters, 2 parameters, but you may not pass anything. Colon indicates that you need to define the function, and anything below. Now, when you be writing other codes, so it indicates the end of this function def is over when the indentation is over. So anything that comes under indentation would be basically scope. So if I don't put any indentation, that means that is outside the scope. So if my forward it starts from the same line just below DEF, is outside the definition. So I should always put spaces. So you can put generally 2 or 4 depending on convenience. Don't use tab. Tab sometimes a different meaning because depending on who is editing it, setting it up. So recommended is not to use tab but use either 2 spaces or 4 spaces. So that rectangle, I do forward, then left 90, forward, left 90. I'm defining this. And look, now at this point, all thing is within. Now if you look at my rectangle, this is outside the indentation. That means my definition of function is up to this point, under the indentation. And if you miss the indentation, you have problem. Other common mistake I see is sometimes, let's say forward I do 4 spaces. Let's say forward I've done 4 spaces. And let's say left I put it 6 spaces. Then I'll get into problem because 6 used to something else. Spaces are always in subscope. So anything that you get into, it should be using the same indentation size, either 4 or 3 or 2 or whatever you decide. So make sure that happens, and that defines the indentation. I hope that makes it clear. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Other thing is coding something called comment, which probably you know. Comment basically means something which is we are writing for our understanding. Program never cares about it. So it's good to write comments, but write a meaningful comment logically. What is the purpose you're trying to do? What you're trying to achieve? If you're passing a parameter, let's say x is width and y is y, it's increment 1, incrementing by 1. That has no meaning. That's a superfluous comment. Comment should be that give you something which I just cannot make out from the direct code. If I can make out, I don't need a comment. So understand that part of it. Comment could be in the beginning of the line, it could be somewhere in the middle, but anything after the comment would become a comment. Before that, it will be code. After that will be comment, will not be used. Normally in Python, we use 1 statement per line. But if you want to use multiple statements, you can terminate the first one with semicolon, and then like what we have seen, forward 90, semicolon, and then the next statement, and so on and so forth. But most of the time you look at in your examples, you'll find one line per statement, one statement per line. In this case, I have one statement forward, another called left. So I can put semicolon and then this will work fine. Or I can do forward and left below. So there is no statement terminator per se, or line is a terminator. But I want to put multiple statements, I terminate first one by semicolon and do that job. And I can define this is my rectangle definition. Now what if this line will do? Rectangle 100, 50, rectangle 50, 100. And I would like to comment what this will do.
Two rectangles will be drawn.
Of what kind? What size?
The first one would have a length 100, the second one would have a length 50.
Yeah. Will it be next to each other? Will it be overlapping each other?
It will be overlapping each other.
Yeah.
It will
Overlapping.
be overlapping each other.
Yeah, because when rectangle is complete, I'm back to the starting point.
Yes.
And because I'm back to the starting point, second rectangle with base 50 is going to overlap. And that's what would happen. Good catch. Thanks. You understood that part. Yesterday we looked at only integer variable types. And if we need to differentiate sometime decimals, we need different types. And we'll get into those details as and when I come into that. So today I'll look at integers and make sure we understand our basic operations correctly. So we know what the division operator is and what a remainder operator is. And I'll get into that mode very soon. So one is the decimal type, which we call floating point. Other is, unlike other languages like C and Java, we call variables are dynamically typed. That means type of variable is determined by at runtime. When I say x is equal to 5, it becomes integer. When I say x is equal to 5.1, so if I write, when I write x is equal to 5.1, x becomes a floating point. When I write x is equal to 6, it becomes integer. Or when I say x is equal to, let's say, quote ABC, it becomes a string. So you cannot say I cannot overwrite it. So value determined at runtime, and there is no fixed type. That's why variables are called dynamically typed. So integer, we give it 2, 3, 4, any values. It could be negative, it could be positive, 0. Floating, sorry, there's a typo error there. It should have been floating. So I'll correct that. Floating point type, decimals, 0.0. You can use scientific notation as well. And probably we'll get into that details if we need to really go there, but really you're going to use that part. Strings, we can define strings as both single quote and double quote. That basically text. When I want to put my name, address, anything to be used as it is, that is strings, and we'll get into more details in Python. We'll get into string details, but right now I'm doing that. So I can say double quote A, or I can say double quote ABC, or I can use single quote. Both are equivalent, does not really make a difference. Now we look at division operation. Sorry, I went back. There are two division. One is called floating point, other is called integer division. So if I were to say, let's say 7 by 2, this answer would be 3.5. There's a floating point division. But when I say, and when I say 7 /2, this means integer division and answer would be 3. The fractions part is cut off. That's the difference. And you don't see the difference in the 7 Python 2, but Python 3 you get a difference. So anytime you make sure you are using the integer division, use double slashes. If you are using floating point division, use single slash. Make sure that happens. With that, let me ask you a question. Now, when I say print 7/2, what is the answer that you will be getting?
3.
3, perfect. Now, what is the answer of this?
-3.
-3, anybody else? You see what answer you are getting?
Sir, it's given. Is it?
You see -4?
Yes, sir.
It rounds off to nearest this thing number in towards the left side on a number line.
Left side.
Yes, it because yeah,
Okay.
it's -4. Yes.
-4.
There's a remainder operator.
Mine.
What do you think answer would be?
1.
1.
Why not -1?
Yeah, I think it's -1. No.
No, tell me, why it should be 1 or -1? My point is that you should be clear about what you're trying to do. So,
Sir,
Is
it's
one
-1.
Because when I subtract -6 from -7, the remainder is -1.
Yes, -1.
-1. No, run you can get it, but then why it is -4?
It's using the floor function. It's rounding up to the nearest
Okay.
lowest integer.
I've given you following. Now can you give me the answers?
It was minus because it is in the left side of the number.
Okay. What about -7/2? Will it be still -4?
Yes.
Yes, sir, it's -4.
Yes.
And what about this?
I think it would be 1. I'm not wrong.
Can you justify it? My point is, can you justify what is happening? That is what I call basics. And if you do same thing in Java, answer would be different. Let me also tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Yeah. Krishna would like to explain, or anybody else? Riset?
No.
Okay.
No.
So if we look at what is well defined is the division part. If the one of the sign is not same, so if dividend is positive, divisor is negative, or dividend is negative, divisor is positive, my answer is negative. That's very well defined. And even though I'm calling a integer division, this double slash operator, if you look at this double slash operator, is actually what is called a floor division.
The double slash operator, sir.
Yeah, it's called floor division. You know, floor and ceiling. If I take, let's say 3.1, floor would be 3 and ceiling would be 4.
Yes, sir. We have the the functions. Right?
Yeah, so minus 3.1. Just 1 minute. Yes, Sundar sir. It is open.
Hello.
Everybody joined. You are the only one who is not.
Can you hear me?
Possibly.
Yes, Akshay. Abhiraj, I can hear you.
Yeah, you can.
Which meeting you have joined?
Hello. Yeah.
Which meeting
I
you have
can
joined? Just 1 minute. Meeting name should be empty Python programming. Yeah. Yeah. Or other guys, yeah. So, yeah, special, personal room is something. There you'll see a listing there, empty Python programming, and then you click on that link, you'll be able to join. Just see. Or you can talk to Abhiram, you can help him basically.
Hello. Hello. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, guys, let me resume back.
If you have any doubt, you can ask.
I missed myself. Okay, so sorry, I was saying something there. Let me just go back. So floor division. So yeah. The floor of minus 4.2, 4.3 would be minus 4. No, sorry. What will be floor of minus 4.3?
Floor of minus 4.3 would be minus
-5.
Minus
-5.
Right. That's why it's called a floor division. Okay.
Yes.
Now, so this division is very well defined.
It'll be -4, right?
No, it will be minus 5.
No, because minus 5 is smaller.
If you draw the number
Whatever
line,
is smaller.
yeah. No, if you draw the number line, put a real number, floor is the left integer and ceiling is the right integer. So minus 4.3 on a number line, if you look at the number line, let's say this is the number line. This is
Yeah.
0, this is -1, this is -2, this is +1. Let's take a number, this is -3. Let's take a number, this number would be, let's say, -2.6. So for this number, floor would be this and ceiling would be this. So for -2.6, floor would be -3 and ceiling would be -2. Is that clear? Somebody is asking me, any doubts about this? Abhiraj or somebody who was
Sir,
asking?
could you please explain that -7 more?
I'll come to that. First, I'm going to
I
explain.
understood.
Is this floor and ceiling part clear first?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes.
This clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me come to, and this mistake a lot of people make. Okay. So you are not the only one to say making a mistake there. Don't feel bad about it. Now what Python says, so if you look at the division, is very clear. If one of the number is negative, that answer would be negative. But remember, what should we do? Should we use the sign of the divisor or should we use sign of the dividend? And that is what basically the question that comes to. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
so in Python, we basically look at now you look at the Euclidean formula, the standard formula that we used to use.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at in Python, the sign of remainder is taken as sign of the dividend. So whatever sign dividend is, that's the sign you'll get. So 7% -2. Sorry, did I make a mistake there? One minute. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Python, this sign of remainder is sign of the divisor, not the dividend. Sorry, I made a mistake. In Python, sign of remainder is sign of the divisor. Whereas in Java, you'll find it is sign of the dividend. So if you look at the formula, A is, let's say, 7, Q is my divisor, B is the whatever answer I get, and then R is the remainder. You have to follow this formula. Q is the quotient. So A is 7, B is, let's say, -2, Q becomes -4, then R has to be -1 to make it 7. Let me write again. A is equal to 7, B is equal to -2, Q becomes -4 because it's near division, and my R has to be -1. Then only this formula would be satisfied. And sign of remainder is sign of divisor. Are we okay here?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Now, if I were to do differently, A is equal to -7, B is equal to 2, my quotient would still be -4 because it's -3.5, floor division is -4, but my remainder would be now standard divisor, which is 1. And you can apply this formula, you'll get the same answer. You can try that out. Any questions about this part before I proceed next?
No.
So understood it, the division, how does it work? So depending on sign,
Yes, sir.
it does make a difference.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, so let's move ahead. Now the question I had given you is to draw a 5-pointed star. How do you go about 5-pointed star? So 5-pointed star is, we don't want what is called, I don't want this sides. My 5-pointed star is only this. My 5-pointed star which I'm looking at is only this and not the polygon. So how do you draw that? That is what I would like to point out. How many people tried it out? Krishna said you tried it out. Other than Srizna, anyone tried? I know Mr. Sundar tried. Sundar there? Doesn't look like. He hasn't joined. No, Sundar is not there. So maybe I'll talk to him tomorrow and then see what has happened. So let's say how do you want to proceed? Sorry. Let me go to next slide. I think I'm jumping too many things. Oh, let me go to my screen. Yeah. Sorry. That's okay. Now, what is the angle CAB? When I'm saying CAB, what is this angle?
degrees.
How much?
60, right?
No.
72.
72.
CAB.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, CAB.
Yeah.
It would be 30.
45.
30.
Give me the right answer, guys.
30. 30.
No.
45. 45.
No. Give me the logic.
Angle CAB and CBA would be the same.
CAB and BC are same size, same. So, so if you look at the triangle ABC,
It's an obtuse angle.
ABC is an isosceles triangle. Now, what is this angle, external angle CB external? What is this angle, the yellow which I'm drawing? How much
60.
is this?
Oh, sorry. 72.
72. If this angle is 72,
So
this angle is sum of angle A and angle C.
37 and a half. Not 36.
36.
36.
So angle CAB is 36. Okay. Other way you want to look at it is, if you want to look at pentagon, I have only 2 diagonals. And this is a regular pentagon. I'm dividing into 3 parts. And the polygon angle is for pentagon is 108. So 108 divided by 3 would give me that angle, which is 36. 108 by 3 is 36. So I can look at either way.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means I should draw an AC at the angle of 36. Now, after doing that, what is the angle ACE? This angle, ACE.
That will also equal to 36, right?
That also go to 36.
Because alternate.
Yeah. So now, but I need to turn from here this much. If you look at, I need to turn this much. On the straight line, how much I need to turn?
144.
144. Because this angle is 36, I need to turn 144. And then turn 144, turn 144. I'll get my 5-star polygon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Or you can look at it this way. Now, and then you can do that. So this you can draw the 5-pointed star. If you need to draw 7-pointed star, how do you proceed? Or draw 9-pointed star? Now let me tell you how to look at the logic, generalize.
With a hectagon, right? If you want to draw a 7-pointed star,
Right.
you will proceed with a hectagon.
No, heptagon, yeah.
Yeah,
Heptagon is
hectagon,
7,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So if it is n is odd, how do you proceed? So let's look at the following. Let's look at a polygon 9-side.
Okay, Nonagon.
Nonagon. I need to draw this point, what is called A, B, C. What is the angle, this CAB in the Nonagon? What is the angle X would be?
It's a 30, 30, 120.
Any answers? Abhiraz, Aditya Tantri?
180 by 7.
No, not 180 by 7. What is this internal angle? What
That is 120.
No, it is not 120.
It's 108.
150, 150.
No, it is not 150 either.
108.
Give a thought, tell me why, on what basis?
Sir, because there are 9 sides, so 360 divided by 9 would give me 40.
No. I'm saying what is this what is the internal polygon angle? Let me go back to the basics. Let's look at this. If you look at sum of all these angles, it is 360.
Yeah.
If you take sum of all these angles, this is 360. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
That means a total 9 such angles. That means this angle would be 360 by 9.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is 40.
Is it 140?
40. So
Yeah.
this angle is 40.
So yeah, it's 140.
So that means
The
this
other
angle
angle
Is 140.
140.
is 140. Yeah.
That means
Yeah.
these angles X going to be 20.
20. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Oops.
Because this X and this X are same. is the isosceles triangle.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you draw this side. Sorry, let me go back. Okay. So if it is general side, what do we do? You first, let's say this angle is x, and we computed x, which is nothing but this angle is this angle 360 by n by 2. So whatever my n is, 360 by n is this angle, and by half of this will give me this angle.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, after we draw this side, we need to turn 180 minus z. Some angle z will calculate. You need to calculate 180 minus z because I need to turn from here to here, left turn. So this angle is z. I can do left 180 minus z, and that will draw the right this thing. Okay. Now, how do you compute z? Now look at here. This angle is y, x is y by 2. You draw this. So this angle is y. Can you guys see that? This angle is x.
Yes, sir.
So this angle is x, and this angle is x. Because this is x, this is x, this is also x. This angle is same as this angle by symmetry, same polygon. So that means this whole angle is y plus 2x. And that means z should be 180 minus y minus 2x. Are we okay? Anuj?
Yes, sir.
And now you
Will
can
be 180.
180 minus y minus 2x, and you can keep repeating.
So
It will be 100. 100, yeah, 100 degrees.
Whatever that is. If whatever n is, I'm giving a generic formula. Okay. Are we okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you can draw this stuff. Let me quickly try to show you how does it look like. So I'll give you one is the number of sides, let's say 7, other is the size. You'll basically it will draw the okay.
Yes, sir.
You can try that if you do with 5. And if you do go closer, it basically becomes, let's say I do 21 and 50. See, it almost becomes very, sorry, let me just move this so they can see that. Now this one way of drawing it. So in this case, I could actually, so how many ways I can draw this pointed star? I can start from this, or I can start from here, every third point,
Yes.
or I can do other way out and keep trying that out different ways. Now question we asked last time was basically, what if n is even? For odd it works beautifully. What happens when n is odd? Sorry, n is even. When any given, if you draw alternately, it will draw two independent figures. You have to draw one from here and one from here. It's one from there like this, and then you have to start one from here like this. Like the hexagon, if I follow the same logic, you'll see a single triangle there.
Sir, it won't look like a star actually.
Yeah, it won't look like a star.
Yeah.
So you draw first one, it will cover half the points, then move forward, then do it again. Then you'll get that. Okay.
It just looks like
Yeah.
each look like one single
So
triangle.
you will not see that. That's the point. It works for an odd, not works for anyone. You need to draw two different covers. You don't cover alternately. That's the point I'm trying to make. I hope I made it clear.
Yes, sir.
Now let's say we'll go to the chessboard. How do you draw the chessboard? So you should, the reason I gave you the chess problem is think logically. When you think logically, yeah, go ahead.
First, you'll draw a whole square. If you can proceed like that also, and then you can use pen up and pen down function.
There are different ways of doing it.
Okay.
But let me start looking at basic units. So basic, what you say is, can we solve a smallest problem that you can solve? And then keep adding using those smaller solutions to solve the larger problem. So most of the computer science, you always do like that. Find the smallest problem you can solve, and then build upon those smallest problem. So in this case, I have a two smallest problem. One is this, my black square, and one is my white square. So I should define a function for black square and a white square. Once I define a function for black and a white square, then I know these two, black and white, black and white, black and white, repeats 4 times. So I can basically make another function which combines one black and one white logically. So I can call that function 4 times. Then I can make another, because next row I need to do white and black. So one function to do black and white, one function to do white and black. Now if you look at this bottom row, I can repeat black and white 4 times. In upper row, I can do white and black 4 times. So I can define black and white row, and I can make a function called white and black row. And then 2 rows together repeats again. So find what is my repeat pattern, and then keep repeating. Then it becomes a lot more easier. So what you really want to do is, so find the smallest problem, then try to solve it. So define function for a white square, define function for a black square, define a function for a black of white plus black square, define a function for a black plus white square. This is white and black, this is black and white. Then you basically define function for even row number 2, 4, 6, and 8. A function for odd row number, which is 1, 3, 5, and 7. And then together you can make a single, what is called an odd even row. Odd even row, repeat that many times, and you'll get a chess square. That's the way you can logically draw the function. It becomes a lot more easier. Debugging, understanding becomes a lot more easier. But other approach it, make it the whole thing big square, then keep dividing it. That can also be done. So both approaches are fine, depends which one you are comfortable with. Are we okay here?
Yes, sir.
So that basically what I had today to primarily discuss. To repeat that time. Now I'll probably give you some questions to do. So this my typical slide means my time is over. What I've given you is basically key to unlock, search it out, find your own answers and do that. So for tomorrow's exercise, let me give you write a simple program. One is to make a staircase. You know what a staircase look like?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
It should be many rectangles,
Yeah, many rectangles, each of a smaller height.
different widths. Okay.
Yeah. So you can define, let's say, I need to make a staircase of 5 rows, then make it for 5 rows, or 6 rows or 7 rows. Abhiram is saying, can you make alternate black and white? Good idea. First make it simple staircase, and then make it black and white. So exercise 1, staircase,
Yes, sir.
and so let me just clean this out. So question 1 is staircase, and second question which I want to discuss is print first, let's say 10 prime numbers. That means program should print 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, whatever. So my input is 10. If I say 10, print 10 prime numbers. If input is 20, print first 20 prime numbers, so on and so forth. So 2 exercises. One is build a staircase. One is print n prime numbers. Then we get into more details onto that. So tomorrow we look at some other normal basic mathematics. And those who are not registered with Cisco, the Net Acad, please Acad, because I'm going to move into that very soon. Because that gives me quizzes, questions, basic courses, reading materials, and making sure you understand. So after tomorrow, from Monday onwards, we'll move to Cisco Net Acad. So those who don't have an account, I'll send an email, create the account.
Okay, sir.
Okay? Any questions?
No, sir. Only these 2 questions to as homework, sir.
Yeah, this is only homework. And this recording, I'll say, upload onto YouTube, and they can give you a link. Those who want to look at, they can refer to this as well.
Are there any constraints for the staircase problem, like any input that we can take from the user, or are we free to set our own constraints?
Set your own constraints. Just define input is how many stairs, 2, 3,
Okay.
4, 7, whatever. That should be the input. You can
Got
choose the what should the height be, what should the length be, but my input is how many steps.
Okay, sir.
That's all. And this will be only to it.
So one you want in Turtle graphics and the other one in Python.
And one is
right?
a simple Python, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm doing
And
Turtle
sir-
because Turtle makes it very interesting to do. That's why I'm asking Turtle to do that. And in fact, if you look at Turtle libraries, there are beautiful programs given there. You can try those, make beautiful patterns. Maybe tomorrow I can show some of those. Built-in Turtle graphic library support is there. They have about different 10, 12 programs. Look at the Turtle documentation, Python Turtle documentation. They'll give you about 10, 12 programs. Run those patterns. The very small programs, 5 lines, 6 lines, they make a beautiful pattern. Look at that.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Chalo, see you then tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So,
Thank you,
sir,
sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
tomorrow we have to use WebEx or Netcat.
No, Netacad you will be using logging in. Conference is WebEx.
Okay, fine. So tomorrow 6 o'clock WebEx.
WebEx is always there. This is my permanent link WebEx. My talk will happen
Yeah.
WebEx. Within this, we'll go through the Netacad or something so that you can log in and see that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll
Thank you,
not
sir.
cover Netacad. Tomorrow is to talk about prime and some other functions. Monday we move to Netacad. So log in, see the material, read it there, plan it out, you'll probably know better.
So, sir, what
Yeah.
time is tomorrow? We had trouble logging in, so we logged in late.
6 o'clock. Same time.
6 o'clock.
Time is 6
Same.
o'clock. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a
Oh.
WebEx? Is there a recording of today's so that we
Yeah,
can see?
I made a recording. I missed first 5 minutes, but I recorded everything. Once I save it, I'll upload on YouTube and send you the link in the group.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay? Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Anything
you, sir.
else?
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, last, Jana Chipur.